Where's Crown been? What do I do with my life with no 5k POV commentaries? I'm really sorry, but I've been at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And it's been bloody epic. We arrived in Paris on Saturday the 3rd of August with anticipation building for the next day, the Sunday, where we had tickets for the athletics, the 100-metre final. But I still had training to get done myself, so in the morning I got up early and went for a lovely long run, a 22-kilometre stroll along the River Seine and then into the parks, as you can see now. Saw the Louvre, the Olympic flame, and then spotted something out in the distance. Oh, it's the Eiffel Tower. Let's run towards that. Ah, there she is in all her Olympic glory. And after a spot of supper, we headed to the Stade De France, heading there in this lovely little double-decker underground train. Floods of people coming out the station, heading towards the stadium, millions of volunteers guiding us, and we have arrived. We sat down in our seats, ready for the action.
Finally, after 4 days, someone's got it.
I quite enjoyed this. The 400-metre heats are away here, and this is the final round 6 with Charlie Dobson in lane 5. He's looking nice and comfortable down the back straight here. The Kenyan on his outside is absolutely zooming along, but he's not getting too carried away. And oh, the Kenyan something has absolutely gone. That is horrible to see. I didn't notice that until the end of the race. But round the bend, Charlie beginning to make on that time on those on his outside as we come into the finishing straight. And he's more or less level with them, if not coming into the final bend in 2nd or 3rd position. And gradually beginning to ease on past them into the lead and taking a comfortable 1st position to move on into the semi-finals. With a time just below 45 minutes, 44.96. Felt so bad for the Kenyan Zablon, who was looking really strong heading into the final 200. That's horrible to see in any games, let alone the Olympic Games. GB's main medal hope, Matthew Hudson-Smith, had already got through comfortably himself in the first heat with a 44.78. We were also enjoying the women's high jump final, and the music was popping off. And then all was quiet for the start of the men's 100-metre semi-finals. And we're away. Louis Hinchcliffe, GB's hope, in number 5. Reasonable start just behind the Jamaican. But in the second phase of the opening, Noah Lyles on the inside of him comes through. He's going to have to push really hard to get that top 2, and it's 3rd position. He will not get one of those automatic qualifying spots for the final. We'll have to wait and see if his 3rd position time is quick enough. Final heat, Zarnell Hughes going in 3. Up the blocks they go, and not a great start from Zarnell Hughes. He's got a lot of work to do. There's at least 6 people all on his outside ahead of him, and I don't think he's going to make it. Coming home in 6th, unfortunately. I think you're going to need to get into the 9s these days for any hope of getting into the final. And unfortunately for Louis Hinchcliffe, he didn't get into the final either, so there will be no one representing GB. But that final is still going to come up shortly. The action doesn't stop, though. Straight into the female 800-metre semi-finals, and we've got Phoebe Gill here in lane 7, the 17-year-old GB athlete who has a really good shot of making the final. Top 2 going through, and then the top 2 best runner-ups from all 3 heats as the pack all move into the inside and start jostling for positions. Phoebe on the outside, thinking about going all the way around, but then deciding against it. Approaching the bell, plenty of Brits around me cheering her on. Phoebe still sticking to the outside at the moment. The business end is approaching, going through 200 metres to go. Phoebe's in about 4th position around the outside, in a great position for a finishing kick, but it looks like the top 3 are really starting to push, and Phoebe is struggling to stay with them. Is she saving anything for the final 60 or 70 metres when the lactic will really build in those runners ahead, and maybe she can just make out a bit of time? She's beginning to try and push. She's still in 4th position, but it looks like she's beginning to blow. I'm not sure she's going to have much of a finishing kick. And the front 2 are certainly away. And she's going to come home in 3rd or 4th. 4th position there for Phoebe, a 1:58.47. She has gone 57 this season, so she'll be maybe a bit disappointed, but she's got to the semi-final of the Olympic Games at 17, so I'm sure we will see a lot of her in the future. And here's Gemma Reekie in lane 5 in the second heat of the 800-metre semi-finals. Gemma's away, and with a 1:55 PB from this season, she will be hoping to make the final comfortably, I would say. And as they all settle down on the inside, she's moved herself into a nice 2nd position. Approaching the bell, looking comfortable in P2, maybe thinking about taking the lead. Pretty quick 56.71 first lap there, that's certainly moving. Can Gemma keep her cool? Coming around the final bend, and she's still battling hard with the Ethiopian on her inside, trying to go around the outside here. But there's still people lurking relatively close behind her, and it looks like they're going 4 wide down the finishing straight. Only 2 position. There's a 5th one trying to come through as well. Can Gemma hold on? It looks like she's back in 4th. The finishing line's calling. You can see her face grimacing. And she's just fallen short. That was a tough finishing couple of 100 metres there. 5th position in the end for Gemma, but just look at those times that got those people through to the final. A PB for the Ethiopian. For the St Vincent and Grenadines, Shafika Maloney, a national record, and 3rd position who still might get into the final. Who did get into the final. You can see those 2 qualifying spots as the best finishers. Another PB. So those people who made it to the final definitely deserved it there. It's really unlucky for Gemma. So with 2 British athletes out, the hope of a nation rides upon Keely Hodgkinson. Luckily, she's the absolute bloody goat. And she takes firm command of the race as they move to the inside at 200. Coming through the bell, 57.47, around a second slower than the previous race. But Keely's looking super strong. Beginning to extend that stride as she moves around the final bend, and importantly moving away from 3rd position, but 2nd is tracking her currently. She only needs 2nd, so it'll be interesting to see how much she pushes. 3rd and 4th are a decent distance away from her, and she's actually now kicking away with relative ease from 2nd position as well, as she brings it home to win the 3rd heat and move through to the final in a 1:56.86. Smooth. There's the official results. 1:56.86, comfortably ahead of 3rd place, which was the danger for not qualifying, and comfortably ahead of 2nd in the end. Can she get that gold in a few days' time? Things were hotting up in the high jump. This Australian's final attempt here to stay in the competition. Can she do it? Yes, she can. Honestly, that roar sent shivers down my spine. And what do we have here? The men's 1500-metre semi-finals with Josh Kerr, George Mills just to the inside, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen next to him. This is going to be juicy, even though it's not the final. Josh Kerr looking over here, looking a little bit like Robin in those glasses, I'll be honest. These two, Josh Kerr and Jakob Ingebrigtsen, never like losing to each other, even though it's the semis. So let's see what happens. Very dramatic music at the start here. Josh Kerr moving near the front at the beginning, with Jakob Ingebrigtsen just as in the heat sitting right at the back, although he quickly decided that that pace was far too pedestrian for him, so he moved to the front, and with 2 laps to go, he's leading them through. Josh Kerr in 3rd and Carl Hocker in 4th. Bell lap now. Ingebrigtsen, Kerr and Hocker beginning to move a little bit clear from the rest of the field. And Josh looking like he really still wants to win, even though he just needs a top 6 to get through to the final. Final bend. The 3 amigos out in the front are actually being challenged from behind by the Kenyan Brian Coman. But all 4 should qualify comfortably unless something massive happens down this final 100-metre straight. Looks to me like Jakob and Josh are sort of easing off ever so slightly. They want to sort of win, but Josh just goes, oh, go on, you have this one, Jakob. I'll get you next time. There's the official results. Jakob getting the W this time. Josh just behind, and also fancy seeing him there. Carl Hocker. And in 5th position there, Stefan Nilsson, and you love to see a PB to get someone through to a final with a 3-minute 32.73, a brilliant effort. But now it was time for the light show before the men's 100-meter final. Wow. There's the 9 through to the final, and Kenneth Bednarak from the USA coming out.
Jamaica, Lyles, USA, and Jacobs, Italy.
Oh my days. Who the hell won that? What a race. No one in the stadium knew who had won. Look at that. It's a photo finish for every single person in the race. But then after about 30 seconds, we found out that by 0.05 of a second, Noah Lyles had won the race, and he bloody loved it. Sorry, 0.005 of a second. Look at that. Noah Lyles having to do a PB 9.79 to get the win here. And it's season best and national record galore below him. All of the front 7 going quicker than 9.9. Crazy speed. What an evening of track and field, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the high jump results that I showed that Australian getting through earlier. I'm not actually sure which one it was. I know they medalled because they celebrated in front of us. And I'm not sure if it was a bronze or a silver that the person I filmed got, but they at least got an Olympic medal. Thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to tune in next time for part 2, where I will show myself going to the canoeing, to the velodrome, we went to water polo, and then for the main event, the second night at the athletics for us, which was actually the final night of athletics in the stadium, which is stacked with lots and lots of races. The 5,000 metre male final, we've got the female 1,500 metre final, we've got the 4x400 relay, the 4x100 relays. It's gold medal city, and you don't want to miss it.